It seems like now more than ever there's an abundance of videos and think pieces about the death of masculinity. The claim is essentially men are no longer men thanks to the scourge of general wokeness. If a piece of media deigns to feature a protagonist other than a white guy, you're usually going to find an army of people ready to label it as woke for no reason. And this phenomena is particularly potent in the gaming community. And after I heard about this Andy Pants's video about the crisis of masculinity and saw some clips from it, I knew we had to sit down and talk about it. Also, holy shit, I can't believe that video is not satire. It's crazy. Because if you're prescribing to this philosophy of masculinity, then it's only going to serve to hurt you and the people around you. There's a reason men are 4 times more likely to end things. The concept of manhood is failing us. And the framework of ideas presented by this Andy Pants guy, they don't help men in any way at all. As a matter of fact, they don't serve anybody. And if anything, you could say the woke concepts of empathy, acceptance, and understanding would only serve to help strengthen the community of men. So let's take a look at this Andy Pants guy's video. Let's break down why it's harmful to men and figure out what we can actually do in the pursuit of growth and understanding and community among men.
Fellas, some of you younger guys really need to hear this right now. And I know a lot of you older guys already know this, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's an absolutely essential message in the absolute clown world that we live in right now. You're a man. You're not a woman. You're not gay. You're not trans. You're not bisexual. You're not pansexual.
Can you see right off the bat how it's really hard to tell that this is not satire? I mean, honestly, I think it would be hard to be this funny if people tried, but it's genuine. This guy's putting the military dude in here. He's got the music in the background and he's going, "You're a man, you're not a woman." I mean, dude, first of all, it's not that deep. Why are you telling people what they are? They aren't. Everybody's well aware of what they are. They really don't need you telling them. You're a man, you're not a woman. That's literally like the last line of Cats the musical. A cat is not a dog.
A cat is not a dog.
Very good, very well written. I'm glad you made that point. Nobody would have figured any of this out without you. You're very, very good. But hey, listen, ultimately, guys, we're having a little bit of a goof here, but your identity is up to you. You can't the internet man can't tell you what your identity is, right? So listen to yourself. Don't listen to this guy. Don't listen to me. Think for yourself. You know your own identity, and you know the people around you who respect your identity. So, trust in yourself.
Work a real job. Get around some real men. Do manual labor. Do something difficult. I promise any gender confusion leaves your body the moment you lift some heavy weight.
How could he possibly promise that gender confusion leaves the body after lifting heavy weight? I would have to imagine maybe he's had gender confusion and then lifting weight made him less confused. But maybe that's because he felt like he was doing something to affirm his gender. I mean, that's why people pursue gender affirming care and things like that. If you're going bald, you could take some hair growth stuff and then boom, you could feel more like a man in the traditional sense, right? There's nothing wrong with gender affirmation or anything like that. But I don't think lifting heavy things is going to fix any gender confusion you may have in your life.
Scientifically, it increases your testosterone. There are only 2 genders and you're the man one, so act like one. You were made to conquer. The Bible says you were made to rule. You were made to shit up. You were made to do the difficult thing. You were made to do the hard thing. You were made to get married. You were made to have kids. You were made to work hard enough to support a family and sit on a park bench while you watch your kids play one day. You were made to die in a hospital bed one day surrounded by your loved ones. You can't have loved ones if you never have kids.
How is it not satire? You can't have loved ones if you don't have kids. What? Dude, I kind of feel bad for you if that's the way you feel. Do you not have loved ones? I mean, Maybe this is a problem. If a lot of men feel like they don't have loved ones other than kids, I mean, that's obviously a difficult thing to go through. But that might be an issue with perspective as well. I'd have to imagine that there's people in your life other than your kids who would be considered loved ones, who you would want to have around you on your deathbed or whatever. But having a family or anything like that doesn't dictate anything about your manhood. I mean, that's ridiculous. And we all deserve to have, great things in life, people around us who love us and validate us. That's not just a thing that's exclusive to men. So, that's kind of the thing about all of this, right? It's kind of like the idea is, as a man, you're supposed to have this and others are not, right? Or if you don't have this, you're not a man. These are all just societally built constructs that don't actually dictate anything. I mean, what is manhood anyway? What dictates it? When you try to set strict limitations on things like that, all you do is, serve to exclude people who you're just not even thinking about, right? Because maybe you're a man who can't have kids. That's okay. That doesn't mean you're not a man, right? Why would that strip away anything that makes you a man? There's no, this is all just made up stuff anyway. There's no hard and fast rules to what being a man is, okay? But there are ways that we can support each other as men, and it begins with, not saying other men aren't men if they don't have a family or something like that, or they don't have loved ones. That's kind of a cruel thing to say. You can't have loved ones if you don't have kids. That's wrong. And I hope you have loved ones, man. I really hope you do, because that's intense.
You were made to be brave. You were made to be loyal. And in the very bottom of you, I know these things exist in you. When somebody needs to be brave enough to run headlong into danger and possibly get killed, do they send a woman? Do they send a lady boy? No, they send a man.
Again, absolutely just invalidating the accomplishments and the bravery of anybody who achieves something and is not a man, right? There's lots of people who were sent headlong into dangerous situations or life and death situations, quick thinking situations, right? You don't have to be a man to be brave or loyal. That's a very stupid thing to say. Anybody can be brave or loyal. The focus shouldn't be on being a man. The focus should always be on being a good person, universally. There's no principles that are exclusive to men or women that make them a good man or a good woman. We're all humans. We need to be good to each other, period. We need to try our best to understand and empathize with each other, right? And that doesn't happen by saying, who do they send headlong first into dangerous situations? Men, just men. You're taking away the accomplishments of all the other people in the world who are not men, who have accomplished something great or, shown some sort of bravery or loyalty.
Explore the icy north and spend 40 days at sea catching rare sea life in the most dangerous conditions imaginable. Did they send somebody who is confused about their sexuality? No, they send a man.
Okay, wait. This one's really funny. I don't think a prerequisite for working on a fishing vessel is if you are confused about your sexuality or not. I don't think you walk onto a fishing vessel and go up and the captain's gonna be like, welcome aboard. Tell me a little bit about your sexuality. Are you confused or are you not confused? We only hire the most sexually confident men on this ship, so you better have everything in order, sonny. I don't think that's happening a lot, but if you work on a fishing vessel, could you let me know in the comments below? Tell me. I mean, maybe they are doing this and I'm just ill-informed, all right? And if that's the case, I will back off on this one. But until a fishing vessel captain comes and tells me that they're checking out, they're making sure everybody who's coming on board is not some sort of confused about their sexuality woke person, I'm going to have to say that this one's probably not true, Mr. Pants.
Women are meant to be at home in a safe and comfortable environment so that they can tend to the children.
Ooh!
Men are meant to go out into the rain and the cold and the mud to bring home money to let that home happen. The number one most important thing in your life is to have a relationship with God, but number two behind that, for you non-religious folks, is to be a man and have a family.
You could do whatever you want, man. It's not that serious. Don't listen to this guy.
Every road in every country was built by men. Every bridge and skyscraper was built by men. Every car, every vehicle, every machine was designed by a man.
Are we sure about that? Could we get a fact check on that one? That's pretty broad. I mean, I'm not gonna claim to have any scientific knowledge on that one, but we're gonna need. Could we get the QR code, please?
And here's the thing I need you guys to realize. This is your world. So why are we acting like we don't run this shit?
Why are you censoring your curse words if you run this shit? I do it because I think it sounds funnier that way, especially in a physical comedy sort of way. Like, if a coconut came out of the frame and just whacked me on the head and it hurt, and I was just like, oh, fuck! When you say it, I don't believe you. I'm not getting the feeling, right? I'm not getting the feeling of like a man's man saying like, we run this shit. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it.
Why have we allowed liberal women and DEI initiatives to infect the workplace? Why have we continued to allow gay femboy trash in video games? Why have we continued to buy and allow woke video games when everybody knows that the golden age of video games is when they were masculine 20 years ago?
Because not everyone's just like a super weird online person, you know, like most people who are playing video games are not getting involved in the weird discourse that a bunch of these guys have that are like, you know, the boobs in the video games are too small. They're still humongous. There's plenty of huge boobies in the video games. And I don't think like, you know, that a queer initiative is to take the boobies away. And on top of that, like I was saying, you know, most people are not weird online people like this guy and myself, right? So they're not getting in the middle of these discourses. Like, they don't care. They're just playing their games. And guess what? A lot of people that play games are women and trans-identifying people. So guess what? They get to be in the games too. I'm sorry, does that offend you? Like, are you getting offended by the fact that the games have the people you don't like in it? I mean, I don't know. I thought these were the kinds of people that were always like, you know, calling people snowflakes, saying everyone gets offended, cancel culture, yada, yada, yada. This is the guy who's like getting really offended by just video game characters that don't constantly make him aroused. Like, you're weird, buddy. You're being a real weirdo. Got my eyes on you, you weirdo.
Two big reasons for all of this. Number one, we've been betrayed by our own. We have been betrayed by gay, beta cuck, liberal men. Do not trust men who won't look you in the eyes. If a guy ever tells you he thinks men and women should always split the check, he's a soft man. If a guy ever tells you he thinks it's the woman's job to lead the household just as much as the man, he's a beta. If a guy ever lets his wife drive, he is sus.
Yo, it has to be satire. I can't believe it. Like this. Yo, it has to be satire. It just has to be, man. Like, I swear to God, like, there's no comedians writing stuff this funny right now.
The problem is when we give these men, these beta men, positions of power and follow them rather than letting masculinity lead. I read an interesting stat the other day. Did you know that 90% of the women around the world, regardless of their religion, culture, or color, 90% of women around the world agree that men should plan the first date?
I also found a stat that I pulled out of my ass. It says 100% of Andy Pantses are booger eaters. I don't make the rules, I just read the stats, buddy.
Do you know why this is? It's because whether you believe in God or not, you know in your heart that men are made to lead and women are made to follow. And the reason our culture is the complete dumpster fire that it is today is because masculinity is getting called toxic right now. Femininity is prized in our culture today.
Wait, what was feminine about that picture? You just saw two dudes being responsible and loyal and brave, raising a baby. But that's a very manly, masculine picture by your standards. What are you talking about?
Confusion gets a medal. Being trans is prized and celebrated. Being gay is prized and celebrated. Being weird gets you a pat on the back. None of this stuff is good. None of it should be celebrated. In fact, it's wrong.
Hey, if you have figured out who you are in life, celebrate it. Lots of people take a lot of time to figure out who they are, and that's just not sexuality, right? I mean, as you go through life, discovering who you are, what you want to be, and being comfortable with who you are is very much a challenge. So if you've gotten there, celebrate it. That's what pride's about anyway.
Random fact. Did you know the Bible commands men to act like men and women to act like women? pretty cool. The patriarchy was good. We live in a matriarchy now, and people wonder why everything is trash now. It's time to be a man. We need masculine men. Seek out role models. Seek out dads. Seek out men who don't drive Priuses. Seek out men who lay down their lives for their families and their friends. Seek out manly men to show you how to live. And I want to close here by giving you just a couple other random thoughts. Number one, if you're under 18 and addicted to video games, what the heck are you doing? Get out of the house, dude. You're in the prime of your life. It's time to go do something. Get off the video games. Go do something with your life. I'm on video games now because I'm 41, I'm married and I have a kid and I'm stuck at the house. Can't really do anything else. But dude, if you're 18 and stuck at the house addicted to video games, like, dude, if you're 18, you are in the prime of your life. It's time to get out there and do something.
Mr. Pants, this whole thing seems a little disingenuous. I mean, you're saying don't stay at home playing video games, and you're staying at home playing video games. Are you silly goosing me? Are you doing a silly goose to me? Because here's the thing. I agree in some ways, right? Like, yeah, you should go outside, experience real life. Don't listen. This is the funniest thing about these guys. He's sitting there being like, if you're sitting around playing video games, there's something wrong with you, man. I do it because I'm at home and I have no choice. Dude, you have a choice. You have a wife and kids, like you just said. Spend time with them, maybe. Don't make it sound like you're like, I'm stuck at home with my wife and kids. Like, I have a wife and a kid, and spending time with them is the best shit ever, right? I play video games at night when people are asleep and I'm unwinding or I'm doing my own thing, or whatever, you know? But, like, don't be like, I have no choice. I'm persecuted here. Guys, I need to play video games at home. I'm stuck with my wife and kids. I got nothing else to do. A little disingenuous, Mr. Andy Pants. I'm a little disappointed in you, I gotta say.
If you're addicted to porn, stop it. Porn makes you weak. It breaks your spirit. It's disgusting. It makes you pay for loose women online who don't deserve your money. Porn saps you of your strength.
I mean, sure, if you're addicted to anything and it's preventing you from getting things done, that's bad. But, like, if you're just a user, like, it's fine. It's not that big, guy. You know, there's not some grand moral failing on your part or anything like that. And it doesn't, like, sap the magical energy beans out of you so that you can't do anything for the rest of the day. And now all of your vitality is gone. Like, these guys just make up some weird stuff, very weird stuff.
Number 3, if you're over 18 still living at home, get out of there, dude. It's time to grow up. You need to have your own place. You need to make your own way. God made you to conquer and be a badass. You will never be a badass living at home with mom and dad.
I mean, that's a really easy thing to say. Like, I don't know many people who are able to just leave home at 18 or be completely self-sufficient. Most people who are out in the world at 18 are not necessarily completely self-sufficient, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. You get out of the house when you can. You use the support you need to get to where you need to in life, all right? There's nothing wrong with that. You weren't designed and put on this earth to be anything. Just, you need to enjoy your life. You need to, like, you know, that's the main thing here. You don't have to be some conqueror. You don't have to crush other people to get somewhere or anything like that. You could just be a good person. You could be a chill person. You could be, you know, that's all you need to do. Enjoy your life, okay? Find a way to get involved in your community and be productive while enjoying what you do.
If you're single, ask that girl out. Women are not immoral. You've just been looking at women on the internet and you think that they're all like that. If you live in a small town or you go to church, I guarantee you will find a trad wife pretty easily, but most of them aren't on Instagram flaunting their bodies. I met my trad wife at church. She takes care of our baby and makes me food. It's great. They exist.
If you need somebody specifically to make you food and take care of your baby, that's a mommy. That's not a wife. The trad wife thing, you know, you do whatever makes you happy. If you like to be a traditional wife, that's fine. But, you know, you don't go out looking for somebody to be that for you, you know, or don't try to make somebody into that, more importantly.
Number 6, if you're married, you probably don't need any advice from me. Keep grinding, brother. Find some men to get around to share what's going on. Only 18 more years and we're free. Children are the greatest blessing in this life, so have lots of them.
I'm married and I have a child, and I don't agree with like any of this. So who's right, me or this guy? Again, you got to form your own opinions. Everybody's life is different. Your life is different than both of ours. Don't just listen to this guy saying, if you're married, hopefully you already know this or something like that. I guarantee you most people who are married don't think like this. Internet people who are married might think like this, but none of the people I know in my real life think like this guy.
Find out what they're teaching your kids at school and make sure it agrees with your values. You've probably heard the story of Adam and Eve, and I like this quote about that. Adam remained silent when he should have spoken. Our society is falling apart because dads quit speaking, because dads are no longer present, because dads are sitting on YouTube on their phones watching videos while their families fall apart. To be a father is...
Yeah, I mean, as a parent, you should be involved in what your kid's learning. You should be aware, and you shouldn't just be on your phone all the time. But teaching gay nonsense to kids, that's just a crazy thing to say. I think what he's confusing is, in schools, there's a level of tolerance and acceptance that's generally practiced or, desired because you have a whole diverse swath of kids going there, right? So I don't think that these things that get turned into I think we've all seen the video of that one dude in that Senate meeting or something like that, reading an excerpt from a book that's available at libraries, that's available at public libraries, not school libraries. But I feel like there's always this conflation with anything that even acknowledges the existence of queer people as being gay nonsense or something like that. It's literally just, we're being more accepting, being more tolerant of people. That's all. It's okay. It's actually a good thing.
If you don't know what to do with your life, bro, just do something. You're young. Just try something, man. The absolute worst you can do is never leave the house and just be a turd and play video games all day. I hope your parents kick you out if you live like that. All right, boys, so in closing, just remember society hates us right now, but we run society. So we don't really have to take it anymore. Promote men, follow men, honor men, lift men up. Never turn on each other. Don't act like a woman. Men are natural leaders, women are natural followers, and society only works when men are in charge. All right, guys, I'm out.
Yeah, society doesn't hate men. This is just like a stupid rumor. And yeah, white men are still pretty much in control of everything. So I don't know what this guy's so worried about. Ultimately, a very stupid video with a very stupid point to make. But there is an epidemic here, and it's time we addressed it. The views expressed by Andy Pants will not serve to improve masculinity. As a matter of fact, it actively works to hurt men. Having a difficult time, this school of thought dictates that looking for support will make you weak, which is antithetical to this toxic interpretation of masculinity. The truth is, asking for help takes strength and wisdom, but these traits aren't inherently masculine. I find it pointless to ascribe gender to a quality a person has. Strength, stoicness, wisdom is not exclusive to men at all, and suggesting that you need to fill your role as a man and run society is just oppressive and entitled. No human is inherently better than another, and more worthy of respect. For society to work best, we need to come together with empathy for the struggles of our fellow humans. That's why I'm so tired of this masculinity epidemic. It's putting so many men in thought spaces that hurt them. I feel like guys like Andy Pants have some sort of deep-seated unhappiness in them or something like that. And it's like, if they don't make other people feel that way, they make other people feel that way to validate their own views and their own sadness or disappointed feelings with life or something like that. I feel like guys like Andy Pants have some sort of deep-seated unhappiness in them, and when they can get other people in that headspace of, oh, wokeness has wronged me, they end up feeling validated and less alone in their unhappiness. Misery loves company, after all, but it makes me sad to see people looking for answers in these sort of toxic thoughts. Human connection from a place of love is the most important thing. And that means if you're a man, you can cry, you can hug, you can say I love you, you can say I feel scared or alone. It's okay. Let's please start looking to actually help each other out. I want to start. If you're a man and there's something hurting you or, getting you down, let's talk about it in the comments. Let's start a dialogue and actually try to identify what's hurting us and make it better. I just wanted to make this video because this whole thought process is getting so tiring, and I know there's probably younger people that watch a video like that and may think something of it, but you know, as somebody who is married and has a child and has what a lot of traditional people would want out of life, you don't have to do it that way. You can be yourself, and you can be empathetic and generous and understanding towards other people. So give that a try instead, okay? Get out in your community, help your community develop and grow, right? That's a great way to meet people. Do things that get you happy and excited for life, right? Don't force yourself to ascribe to masculine philosophies, because somebody's telling you that's what you have to do to be a certain way. You could be whoever you want, and you should be whoever you want so that you can enjoy your life. But yeah, guys, I've been Hellion.Vision. Just wanted to hit you with this, guys, real quick. We're back to horror, though, because it's Hellion-ween, baby. So horror videos are still on the menu. We've got 2 more long-form horror videos coming up this month. If you haven't watched my Silent Hill review, get to it. That game is so good. But yeah, guys, I'm out of here. Love each other. Listen to each other. All that good stuff. Okay, goodbye. Bye.